Welcome back to Introduction to Hatha Yoga and GHTV. I'm John Reiners, and we're back in Lynn Jacobs' Springstone studio here for our session today. And we've got Jessica Payton as our guest instructor today. Jessica teaches here at Springstone Yoga right downtown Rome. She also teaches at the Y and at Pilates on First. Thank you for doing this, Jessica.
Thank you for having me. All right, so we're going to start in a good Tadasana stance. The toes are a little bit closer together than the heels, and the outer edges of the feet are parallel-ish. We'll draw the shoulders up towards the ears and back, and just slide the shoulders down the back, and finding our breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And the breath in yoga is called an Ujjayi breath. And we create the sound of the ocean with our breath. You want to imagine breathing in through the nose, and then as you exhale with the mouth closed, imagine fogging up a lot of mirrors so you get that feeling, but with the mouth closed. So the warm air travels up and over the nasal cavity, creating warmth inside the body. And as we find the breath, we also engage the bandhas. The Mula Bandha, or the root lock, is a lifting of the pelvic floor. And then the Uddiyana Bandha, or the belly lock, the belly draws in towards the spine and sort of scoops and lifts just a little bit up under the rib cage and diaphragm. We're always thinking of growing the spine and the center of the body nice and tall, and just letting the outer body flow and relax around that center core. We're going to flow today, so we're going to start with Sun Salutation, Surya Namaskara A. So on the next breath in, take a nice deep breath and float the arms up towards the sky. Good. Exhale, forward fold all the way to the earth. Bend the knees a lot. Rest your belly on your thighs. Good. Inhale, looking halfway up, straightening the knees. And exhale, stepping back into a plank. And on that same breath, coming down into Chaturanga. Good. On the inhale, flipping the feet over and pressing yourself up into an upward facing dog. And exhale, flip the feet over and downward facing dog. Good. And start with some bent knees. We want to lengthen out all the way from the middle fingers all the way up to the tailbone. So we're going to press back and soften the shoulders, soften here. Keep the belly nice and strong. Uddiyana Bandha is tight. And then, once you get a nice long line here, you're going to start straightening your legs, stretching the backs of the legs. And just breathing here. A total of 5 breaths, so we have about another breath and a half here. On that last exhale, take a nice deep bend in the knees and look forward, preparing to step or jump forward. And on the inhale, float forward. Exhale, a full release down, again releasing, bending the knees, and then inhale, reverse, and come all the way up. Exhaling to close the hands down in the center or let them come to the sides. On the next inhale, float the arms up again. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, look halfway up. And exhale, step back into that Chaturanga and lower down, pulling the elbows back towards the ribs. Good. Inhale into upward facing dog. And exhale back into downward facing dog. And taking 5 deep breaths here. And again, always really create from the middle fingers all the way up to the tailbone. Make sure that the pointer finger knuckles are pressed all the way down. This helps to alleviate wrist pain, and also press back far enough so you get rid of your wrist wrinkles, and that will help with the wrist as well. Don't be afraid to bend your knees as much as you need to create that nice straight line, nice strong back, pulling the belly in and lifting the pelvic floor. They're working kind of towards each other to create lots of strength in the core. And on that next exhale, deep into the knees, look forward to prepare and inhale to step or float forward. Exhale to full release and inhale all the way up. And exhale to release the hands down in the center or out to the sides. And one more Surya Namaskar A, breathing in and breathing out to fold. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step back and chaturanga, lowering down. Nice strong arms, strong core. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. And 5 deep breaths. We want to create lots and lots of space across the back too. So space around the ears, space across the back, nice and wide. So we also take a really wide hand stance so that we have a great base to grow our downward dog. And always remember to just keep breathing. On that last exhale again, a deep bend in the knees. And inhale forward. Exhale, full release down. And inhale, reverse to come up. Exhale, closing. And we'll come into Surya Namaskar B. On the next inhale, sit back like you're sitting in a chair, raising the arms up high. Exhale to forward fold, still keeping the knees bent if you need to. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back into plank and chaturanga. Inhale into upward dog. And you're going to exhale, downward dog and right foot forward between the thumbs. And inhale into a warrior one. Exhale, float down and chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog and left foot forward. Right heel down, sweep the arms up into warrior one. And exhale, forward fold, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale into your downward dog. Downward dog is your resting pose. You take your 5 nice deep breaths here. Really stretch through the center body. Widen, soften. Everything is moving up through the center body. Pressing back, 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 back. And you can take this opportunity too to kind of just bicycle your feet. Lift one heel and then the other heel, pressing and getting those calves and hamstrings to lengthen. Good. And on the last exhale, that deep bend in the knees and to come forward. Inhale. Exhale, full release down. And inhale into Utkatasana, your awkward chair pose. And close in the center or to the sides. Good. Inhale to Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fully down. This is Uttanasana, intense stretch pose. Inhale to look halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana, half intense stretch. Exhale, back into plank and chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha, which is upward facing. Exhale into Adho Mukha and bring the right foot forward. Left heel down. Inhale, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Exhale down. Chaturanga. Nice. Exhale back and left foot forward, right heel down. Sweep the arms up. And chaturanga again on the exhale. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha. Adho is downward, Mukha is face, so down face. And always take this opportunity to create space and to rest. Let your head hang, let it be nice and lots of space. It should not feel like you're everything is up in your shoulders. You should have lots of space. Widen your hands if you need to. Deep bend in the knees and inhale forward. And exhale, close. And one more, Surya Namaskar B. Good, exhale. Breathing in, look halfway up. And breathe out into Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward dog, right foot forward. Left heel down, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale, downward dog. Left foot forward, right heel down. Sweep the arms to the sky. And exhale, Chaturanga. Stay nice and strong through here. Inhale to your upward dog. Squeeze the shoulders back. Exhale, downward dog. Lengthen through the entire upper body. We always encourage breaks, so if you need to take a break, you can always come into a child's pose and rest in between poses. If you're given a downward dog, you can drop your knees instead and come into a child's pose. So child's pose. And just breathe here. Breathe deep into the belly, create lots of space. Relax the shoulders. Give your wrists a little bit of a rest. Rest the back and the neck and shoulders here. And then return to downward dog. Exhale, a deep bend in the knees. And inhale forward. Exhale, foreloose down. And inhale, Utkatasana. And exhale, Samastiti. Utkatasana. Good. Take a few moments here just to breathe. Notice how your body feels. Sun salutations are to create warming in the body to get the body prepared for the practice. So we're going to use part of our sun salutations to move from pose to pose. So take a nice deep breath in and float the arms towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down, bend the knees. Inhale to look halfway up. And exhale, step just the right leg way back. Good. Come up very high on the heel. Lift the heel towards the sky. Good. Draw the right hip forward, left hip back. Find your balance. Engage the core, and on your next inhale, float both arms up towards the sky. Good. See if we can bring the hands together. Rotate the armpits forward. Draw the belly in and take 2 deep breaths here. And another deep inhale. And exhale, forward fold to the ground. And step all the way forward. And just breathe here for a moment. Inhale, look halfway up again. Exhale, step the left foot back. Good. Wiggle that foot back even further if you can. You want to make sure that the front knee is behind the front ankle. Good. So you can always wiggle the back foot back. You can walk the toes of the front foot forward. Good. Engage strongly through the core. Right hip back, left hip forward. And inhale to float up. A nice strong lunge. And flare the underarms open to the front. Relax the shoulders down in a V. One more deep breath. And exhale, forward fold and step forward. And just release down, let the spine hang, let the head hang and be heavy, creating lots of traction in this thoracic spine, which feels really awesome. If it doesn't feel really awesome, bend the knees. Always be ready to bend the knees. That makes the body very happy. And inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step back into your plank. And just holding plank, shift the heels forward a little bit. So just shift forward and back on the heels, keeping the toes right where they are and press back. Good. And it's a nice stretch here and shift forward and back, creating lots of strength in the core. One more time, shift forward and back. Good. And then looking forward, bring the right foot all the way forward between the thumbs. Good. And again, if you can't quite get it there, walk those toes forward. Use the toes to inch forward. And step the left foot out towards the left side of your mat. And turn the left heel inward. Good. Keeping a nice, strong, stable stance here. Inhale into your warrior one. Good. And then open to the left side into warrior two. So this is a nice long, we're going to think lengthen, 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 lengthen all the way through, looking out over the right fingertips. And relaxing here. We're growing the spine up and sinking the lower body down. And then pinwheel the arms down. Right arm first, left arm comes around, and step forward. Good. Inhale to look halfway up again. Exhale, step the right foot back. Good. And rotate that right heel inward. And inhale into your warrior one. And open into warrior two. Again. And sometimes we feel like we want to reach out a little too far. Pull back just a touch so that we're really lifting up and out of the ribs. Sinking nice and low, working towards having the thigh parallel towards the ground. And on your next exhale, pinwheel down. And step forward. Inhale up halfway up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. And close in the center or bring the hands out to the sides. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway up. Good. Then exhale, step the right foot back only about, 3/4 of the way. And work towards straightening this front leg. Bring the right heel inward just a little bit. Left foot, go right toes out. Good. You're going to work towards bringing this left hip back, right hip forward. Lengthening through the back, drawing the shoulder blades onto the back. So we might need to bring our hands up to our shin to help support us so we have this nice long spine. We don't round through the spine. So in this pose, your left hamstring should be talking to you very, very, very loudly. So this is pyramid pose, and pyramid is a great pose to come into warrior three from. So on the next inhale, John's going to bring his hands to his heart. Good. He's going to bend deeply into his front knee and then lift off into his warrior three. Ooh. So the great thing about this pose is after we've just stretched and made that left hamstring very, very long, we're asking it to work, and that makes this pose exceptionally challenging. And then bend deeply in that left knee again and step back, return to your pyramid pose. Good. Straighten that left knee. And then slowly just step all the way forward. And return to your stance. Nice Tadasana. That's very challenging. And inhale again. And bring arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway up. And exhale, step the left foot about 3/4 of the way. And again, drawing the left hip forward here, right hip back, lengthening through, lots of length, lots of space, shoulder blades onto the back. If you feel like there's absolutely no way to straighten that right leg, step the left leg in a couple of, anywhere from a couple of inches to a couple of feet. It doesn't need to be a wide stance for it to be a beautiful pyramid. So enjoy that stretch through the back side of the right leg. Really work the core. Uddiyana Bandha is doing a lot of work here, drawing the belly in and creating lots of strength. Feel the shoulders working onto the back, and now for that awesome challenge. Bend into the knees, bring the hands to the heart, and step forward, lifting into Warrior Three. And seeing if you can lift your heart up a little higher. Gorgeous. Flex strongly through the back and extended foot. Press through the heel. That helps to engage Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, which makes you a lot stronger. And then again, belly in, bend the knee, come back through your pyramid, straightening that front knee. And just take 1 or 2 breaths here. And then slowly step forward and return to Tadasana or Samasthiti. Take a couple of nice, soothing, relaxing breaths here. Reset the shoulders, create lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. They really love each other, and we don't want them to love each other. Things are always exciting on Broad Street. One more little sequence here. Let's take a nice deep breath in and raise the arms towards the sky. Really focus on opening, reaching, and exhale, forward fold, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, look halfway up. And exhale down, step the right foot way back. Rotate the heel inward. And begin working towards straightening this left leg. Okay. And bringing the hand up to the shin to start, the left hand up to the shin to start. Then we're going to begin rotating open, raising the right arm up towards the sky. We want the palm to be facing the same direction as our chest. This helps to keep us from internally rotating. We're trying to bring our shoulders back in line with the hips, really opening, and once you find that, you can kind of begin sliding the hand down towards the ankle for Trikonasana or triangle pose. And we're really rotating through the ribs. The ribs are becoming open. You can even open a little extra. Keep your head nice and long, lengthening through the top of the head. Don't let it just hang out there. That makes the neck very unhappy. And we're going to come out of this a little differently. We're going to engage the core, look at the right thumb, and use that right thumb to lift the body all the way up. Good. And then just with a big sweeping motion, sweep the right arm forward and come into a raised arm. Nice. And then exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, step the left leg way back. And turn the heel inward. Begin straightening through that front knee, nice and long. Good. And bringing the right hand to the shin. Or if you have a block, use a block. And begin rotating open. Left arm towards the sky. If it's comfortable to look at that left thumb, do so. If it's not, look forward. If that's not comfortable, look down. Just keep your neck long and in line. Reach the neck long. Breathe. Rotate through the ribs and pull the shoulders back in line with the hips. Tuck the tailbone under a little bit so you really get a strong engagement of that Uddiyana Bandha or that belly lock. And on your next inhale, take a look at that left thumb and let the left thumb pull you up towards the sky. And exhale, step forward, raising the arms, and just release the arms. Roll out the shoulders a few times. Take a couple of nice deep breaths here, just relaxing the senses. And come back into Tadasana or Samasthiti. Shoulders back. Almost imagine creating a V on your back with your shoulder blades. And same thing, breathing deeply. And take a nice deep breath in, raising the arms towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look halfway up. Step back into your plank, and then just lower all the way down to your belly. Again, strong arms, pull the elbows back. Good, and lower all the way down. Relax the feet for a moment. Bring your hands to your forehead, and just kind of rest your head for a moment. Again, getting the body acclimated to this new posture and getting ready for bow pose. So we're gonna do bow pose a little interesting way. So we're gonna bend both knees back and take the knees nice and wide. So almost to the edges of the mat, and then bring the heels together. And we're gonna reach back one at a time with the one with the left and then the right. And then see if we can keep squeezing the heels towards each other. Good. And then you're gonna use the legs. You're gonna press the shin bones back towards the back of the room to lift and open up the heart. Still working that Uddiyana Bandha. Draw the belly button in. That's a lot of work. And you'll notice that with your breath, you might rock back and forth. And take one more deep breath here. And exhale, slowly let yourself release down. And extend the arms out to the sides. We're gonna take a little different twist here. Keeping the arms just where they are, you're gonna draw your knees up, both knees over to your right side while you're laying on the ground. Yes, and then draw them up towards your chest. Okay. And then see if you can draw them up even closer towards your chest. This is a little awkward to get into, but it feels wonderful. And then slowly release that right shoulder down towards the ground. And if it's okay with your neck, if your neck is happy doing this, look over to your left. So we all often do this exact same posture, but lying on our back. I like to do this lying on my stomach. I think it feels really good. It's a great release on the back. And after you do any kind of back bending, rather than coming into a forward fold, it's a nice stabilizing gesture for your back to either do something to twist or to engage and hug it in. Usually that'll even take the sensation of needing to forward fold completely away. And then slowly extend the legs nice and long and come to the other side. And just slowly let the shoulder that's in the same direction as the knees, let that shoulder just gently move towards the ground. Breathing deeply, fill the belly with breath. And then as you exhale, see if you can release the body a little bit more. And just enjoy the release on that lower spine and sacral area, creating lots of space in the lumbar spine. And then slowly extending the legs nice and long. And bringing your elbows right up under your shoulders. So the elbows on the ground, right up under the shoulders. And just come into a little isometric contraction here, looking forward. And you want to imagine that you're going to try to pull your mat up under you or pull your body forward just by using the elbows. So there'll be very little movement, but you'll feel lots of great stuff going on in the middle of your back. So this is just kind of a little variation on Sphinx pose with some isometric work going on. And you can't really see it, but all these muscles in the back, right up under the shoulder blades, they really start to connect and you can feel that. You want to imagine that somebody's coming from behind and pressing your chest and pressing your heart forward. Your shoulders are moving back and everything is moving backwards. The neck is lengthening and moving back. The shoulders moving back, ribs moving back, waist moving back, but the heart is moving forward. And then slowly release down, bring the hands back by the ribs and press yourself back into a child's pose, Balasana. And then it feels really good to have someone come and just press on the sacrum. And again, always creating space. Think of lengthening from one side of the back to the opposite shoulder, another side of the lower back to the opposite shoulder. And if this does not feel good to your knees, you can sit a pillow or something right on top of your heels, and that will make this feel a lot better. We always want to protect our joints, make our knees and hips super happy. And then slowly walking yourself up. We're going to continue kind of with our back bending sequence, coming into Ustrasana or camel pose. So we'll start with the knees right up under the hip bones. So we have a nice strong stance, tucking the back toes so that our heels are a little closer to our body. Rolling the shoulders back. We're going to create a W shape with our hands. So just create a W shape with the arms. And draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Squeeze the shoulders back and rotate them down like you're trying to use your shoulder blades to scoop and lift the heart. And do that one more time. Lift the shoulders up and back and use the shoulder blades to lift and scoop the heart. Draw in through the belly. Uddiyana Bandha lifts up and drop both arms at the same time towards the heels. Nice, and then use pressure and pressing on the heels to lift the heart up towards the sky. And you can let your head drop back a little bit, keeping a nice long back of your neck. You don't want to rest your skull on your big C7 vertebrae back there. Or, this is really tough for a lot of people. I don't like it. I like to look forward. Because this is what makes my neck happy. But always do what makes your body happy with good alignment. To come out of this, we want to come out of it evenly. So on an inhale, we'll lift both hands at the same time. Good. And then drop the heels. Sit back on the heels in just a seated stance. And then take a nice little twist. So that same thing, we just did a really intense back bend. So now we're going to take our little twist here. Reaching and leaning maybe slightly back. And then twist in the opposite direction. You can lean back so that that back hand touches the ground. Excellent. And then for added relaxation, you can also kind of rock the pelvis back and forth. You can feel the sits bones kind of moving forward and back over the heels, just rocking the pelvis back and forth. That'll give a little bit more release to that lower spine. Feels good, right?
It's tough on my knees.
A little tough on the knees. Alright, so and always we want to protect the knees. So if you're having knee issues, you can again use a bolster or a blanket or a pillow to put on the heels, and that helps. So let's come into that one more time. And this time not coming quite as low. This time we're going to just bring our hands to our
Ustrasana.
yes, Ustrasana again. And we're just going to bring our hands to our sacrum. So the same start stance. Create that W first. So we're trying to get the upper spine, the thoracic spine that normally bends this way, we want it to bend the opposite way. We want to get lots of mobility and happiness in our spine. So then slowly bring the hands back. And just use the pressure on the sacrum down to kind of anchor the tailbone, create lots of space. And lift the heart. And then same thing, slowly come up. And this time, come back, swing your feet around so that you're in Dandasana stance. And then you can take that same twist. Just twist, open to one side. So if the other one bothers your knees, this is a great alternative. And it feels quite nice. And again, we're twisting all the way through the ribs. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, feel yourself twist even further. Inhale to untwist. And let's twist to the opposite direction. Good. And every time you inhale, grow taller, expand the breath capacity. And exhale to get a little deeper into that twist. And inhale to come back through center. And keeping your feet where they are, just bend your feet or bring your feet down and scoot forward. So we're going to come into Setu Bandhu Svanasana or bridge pose. Rolling down. Bringing the feet right up under the knees. Take some nice deep breaths here, just kind of feeling what it feels like to be on your back. Open the palms up towards the sky, creating an open chest. So make sure your heels are right in line with your sits bones. Pigeon toe the feet a little bit because as soon as we press the pelvis up, the feet are going to want to splay out. So we want to minimize that. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, just lift the entire body up off the mat. Squeezing the knees towards each other but not together. And once you're here, start shimmying the shoulder blades together and the hands together so you can clasp the hands up underneath the body. Press the backs of the arms and the hands down towards the ground to lift the heart. We're working towards getting these ribs up. Keep the gaze either straight up or slightly behind the body, pressing the back of the head firmly towards the floor to support the neck, raising off the floor. And take 2 or 3 more very deep breaths here. This is a beautiful heart opening pose. And one more breath in. Exhale, begin unshimmying the shoulders. And slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. And for a little different back release, take the feet as wide as the mat, or a little wider. And let both knees fall over to one side. And for a nice little extra stretch, if it feels good, you can bring the right heel on top of the back knee. So, yeah. And that'll kind of press that left knee down a little more and stretch the IT band. Should feel good. Excellent. Open the arms out and you can look towards your left thumb. Enjoy here, and again, the same thing. Breathe in, really feel the breath expanding through the ribs and belly. And as you exhale, see if you can relax the shoulders just a little bit more. Release that knee to the ground a little bit more. And once the other side, same thing. And again, if it feels good to stretch out that back leg by placing the front heel on the back knee. And grow the breath, grow the breath, grow the breath. Take 2 more breaths here, really focusing on expanding through the ribs, and exhale, feel them closing down and releasing towards the earth once more. And slowly come up through center, and grab onto the right knee, and use that right leg to pull you up. And come over again, over onto hands and knees for a moment. We're going to take a couple of cat-cows and just to again create some lengthened space and get some movement going through the spine. So come into a nice neutral spine where the head is lengthened forward. Relax into here. And look slightly forward in your head. Bring your hands back a little bit so that the wrists are right on the outsides of being directly beneath the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in here, tuck the toes. And as you exhale, starting and articulating from the tailbone, tuck the tailbone under and begin rolling one vertebra at a time, coming into a nice cat pose, stretching across the upper spine. And on the inhale, same thing, start at the tailbone and lift the tailbone up like a happy little puppy dog and let it roll through the spine. Once you get to here, pull the shoulders down away from the ears, roll the shoulders back, squeeze, 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 and same thing, articulate one vertebra at a time, tailbone all the way through, really stretch here, and again, tailbone all the way up. Really release here, still keeping the bandhas, mula bandha, pelvic floor lifted, uddiyana bandha, belly lifted, and let's do one more set. And last cow. And squeeze. And come into your neutral spine for a little spinal balance, working on spinal stability here, looking slightly forward. So your vision will stay a few inches, probably about 6 to 8 inches diagonally in front of where your fingertips are. And bring your knees so that they are right up under your hip bones. And we're going to keep this alignment here and slowly begin extending the right leg back, keeping the heel in line with the sits bones. We always want to lift up really high, but we want to keep this hip down. We want to keep the hip rotated down, the femur rotated in, the toes pointing straight towards the ground, and lengthening, lengthening, lengthening all the way through the heel. Okay. And slowly lower that knee down. And switch sides. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Good. And slowly releasing down. Then we're going to add the arms to it. Inhale and lengthen through the right heel. And then extend the left arm, turning the palm inward, keeping this nice and long. Just think someone's pulling the fingers that way and pulling the heel the opposite direction. Everything is nice and strong. And then release both at the same time. And one more. Let's lift through the left leg, extend through the right arm. And again, lengthening all the way through the heel, reaching through every fingertip. This is nice and stable. Don't let don't let the belly droop. Pull, nice and strong. Ribs in. And slowly release. And then just press back into either a comfortable child's pose, or again, if this bothers your knees, you can leave the hips high and come into kind of an extended downward puppy with the knees down. a few nice deep breaths. And again, just squeezing. Always want to take time to cool down, stabilize the spine at the end of a class.
Eternity's edge is my calling.
And slowly walk yourself up with your hands back towards your knees. Sweep your feet around and come to a seated pose. And prepare for Shavasana. So let's take the feet fairly wide on the mat and roll down. So keep the heels on the mat. We want to lean out nice and long here. Let the heels release and the feet just kind of wiggle in and out, and they flop out to the sides. The palms are facing up a little bit away from the hips. And the shoulders reach down. And the head reaches nice and long. And in Shavasana, we work to release the thoughts of the mind. So Yoga Chitta-vritti Nirodha, which means yoga is the cessation of fluctuations of the mind. This is the perfect opportunity to practice this. This is the hardest pose in all of yoga. Looks really easy, but the idea is to get the mind to completely relax. Let go of stress. Let go of all of the errands you have to run. Let go of the things that make you sad or angry. This is a time to fill your heart and your mind with peace and love. A time to be kind to yourself. Just feel the breath, gently moving the belly. This is just a smooth and cool breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And in Shavasana, everything becomes within. We have joined our mind and our body. And we are completely at peace. And to come out of Shavasana, we begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, bringing a gentle energy back into the body, allowing our awareness to begin reaching out. And take a moment to extend the arms way overhead as far from the toes as they will go, and stretch the toes as far away. Open the ribs, create And then slowly bring the knees towards the chest, grabbing behind the thighs to give yourself a little love and kind of rock from side to side, massaging the spine into the mat. And when you're ready, allow yourself to fall over to your right side. Just rest your head on your right arm. And take a moment here to kind of reset yourself. And then extend the left leg long and use the left arm to press yourself up to your favorite seated pose. This is any seated pose that feels good to you, so take care of yourself and your knees and hips and feet and toes. And then just take a few moments, again, to sit in silence with yourself. It doesn't have to be very long. Sitting up with a nice, tall, and beautiful posture. And keeping the gaze soft, bring the hands to the heart center and Anjali Mudra, palm gesture. And bow in for just a moment for peace. Om Shanti. Namaste.